If you're struggling to fall asleep, stay asleep, or just wake up feeling groggy, then you're not alone. Sleep problems affect millions of people and can take a real toll on both your physical as well as mental health. But what's the good news? Well, there are simple evidence-based steps that you can take to fall asleep faster and better. In this video, we're going to walk through 6 practical strategies to improve your sleep. These are going to include building a good sleep routine, learning how to relax and unwind, which is really important, using mindfulness to manage worries, creating the right sleep environment, knowing what to do if you can't sleep, and finally improving your sleep through diet and exercise. So let's get started. So step 1 is to build a good sleep routine. This is known as sleep hygiene. So good sleep starts with a good routine. This is something called sleep hygiene, and it's about creating consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps to regulate your internal body clock. Now that consistency makes it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally over time. Now part of this routine should include a set time to start winding down in the evening. So you should think of this as your signal to the body and the brain that sleep is coming. Now this doesn't mean jumping into bed straight after finishing work or dinner. Give yourself 30 to 60 minutes to transition, which brings us to the next step. So step 2 is to relax and unwind before bed. Your wind down routine is just as important as your sleep schedule. So this means trying to avoid screens like phones, tablets and computers at least an hour before bed. Now this is because the blue light from screens can disrupt melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you to sleep. Instead, it's important to do something relaxing. So this might mean listening to calming music or a gentle podcast, reading a book, or trying a guided sleep meditation. And you might want to try out something like Headspace or Calm to help you do this. Now, techniques like progressive muscle relaxation or a warm bath can also help to ease the body into rest mode. By relaxing your mind and body, you're creating the ideal conditions for sleep. But sometimes, even when we're trying to relax, worries and overthinking can creep in. And that is where the next step, so mindfulness, comes in. Step 3 is using mindfulness to manage worries. Anxiety, stress, and racing thoughts are common barriers to sleep. Mindfulness can help with this. Now, mindfulness encourages you to stay present, notice your thoughts without judgment, and gently return your focus to the breath or body. Now, simple practices like journaling before bed, setting aside time to make a to-do list, or writing down what is on your mind can stop these thoughts from replaying once you're in bed. You can also try self-help CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. Techniques like reframing unhelpful thoughts can be very helpful. Now, these techniques can help reduce nighttime worry and break the cycle of sleeplessness. Now, if you've made it to this point in the video, I'd love to hear from you. What in particular is making it hard for you to sleep? Is it racing thoughts, difficulty falling asleep, waking up too early, or something else? Please do share your experience in the comments section below, and let's see if we can build a supportive community here where we can share tips and encouragement to help each other get better rest. So now that your mind is hopefully more relaxed, let's talk about your sleep space. So step 4 is creating the right sleep environment. Your bedroom should support good sleep, and that means it should be quiet, dark, and a cool temperature, although this can vary depending on your own personal preference. Some tips here are trying to use blackout curtains or an eye mask to keep the room dark, as well as removing any sources of artificial light like glowing clocks or phone screens. Now, if noise is an issue, you could consider earplugs, white noise machines, or calming soundscapes like rainfall or ocean waves. It's also important to make sure that the room is well ventilated and cool and not too hot or stuffy. This can make it much easier to drift off and stay asleep. A clean, comfortable bed and minimal clutter can also help to create a calming atmosphere. Now, even with the perfect environment, there will be nights when sleep just doesn't come easily. So what should you do then? Well, this leads us on to step 5. So step 5 is to not to try and force sleep. Lying in bed wide awake can be frustrating, and it happens to all of us, but trying to force sleep usually makes it worse. If you're not asleep after about 20 minutes, don't just lie there worrying. Instead, get up, go to another quiet space, and do something calming, like reading, listening to soft music until you feel sleepy. And remember, resting quietly in bed still gives your body a chance to recover even if you're not fully asleep. Sometimes just letting go of the pressure to sleep can help for it to come more naturally. Finally, let's take a look at the foundation of everything, which is what you eat and how you move. So step 6 is to improve sleep through diet and exercise. So your lifestyle obviously has a huge impact on sleep. It's important to start by looking at your diet. Try to avoid heavy meals close to bedtime and cut down on caffeine, nicotine and alcohol, especially in the evenings. Personally, I would recommend that you don't eat in the 2-hour window before going to bed. Now, things like nicotine and caffeine are stimulants that can keep your brain more alert even if you feel sleepy. The general advice is to avoid these 1 to 2 hours before bed, but for some people, even earlier might be better. It's worth experimenting to see what works best for you, and you could do this by journaling and keeping a record of the nights you've slept better and the nights you've slept worse and seeing if there's any correlation there. The other important thing is exercise, but avoid intense workouts late in the evening as they might leave you too energized to sleep. Instead, you could take a gentle walk a couple of hours before bed to try and unwind. So to recap, the 6 steps to better sleep are to build a regular sleep routine, to wind down and relax before bed, to use mindfulness to manage worries, to create a calm, cool space and environment to sleep in, to not to try and force sleep, and finally to support your sleep with a healthy diet and exercise. Better sleep doesn't happen overnight, but small, consistent changes can lead to real improvements. Try introducing 1 or 2 of these steps this week and see how your sleep will change over time. If your sleep problems persist, remember that help is available, and I'd always suggest that you speak with a healthcare professional or explore trusted self-help resources, which I've included in the description box of this video. You don't have to tackle this problem alone. It's very common, and together we can get through this. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments section.